Hi, yeah, this video explains how to use Excel to do time series analysis and forecasting analysis for the a specific problem. It assumes that you are familiar with chapter 6, time series analysis and forecasting, that you have studied this chapter. You're familiar with the chapter, its ideas, its concepts, especially you're familiar with the moving average method, exponential smoothing, also you are familiar with the models with seasonality, with and without a trend. Okay? So what you see here is a web file that I copied from your textbook site. It represents sales, quarterly sales of umbrellas. So you have data for 5 years, and these are the quarterly sales for the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year. Okay? And these are the sales: 125, 153, 106, and so on. So let's do first the moving average model. So in this case, I'm using here Excel 13, and you should have added as an add-in your data analysis tool if it doesn't come standard with it. So you click on data and you go to data analysis, click on data analysis, and now you're going to click on moving average. You look here, this is analysis tools. We're going to look at the moving average. You click on this, and then you have this pop-up window. So we're going to put the input. So our data goes in there, and you click on this and put all my data there. And then I want my interval, which is the window. So it's going to be, I want to have a moving average of 3. I want my output. I want to put my output here. I have to click there first, and then I want my output to go here, and click OK. There it is. You can see, because I used a window of 3, I don't have a value for the first one. The second one have my estimate or forecast for the this quarter is 128, 115, and so on, 129. And because a moving average is the stationary model, if I'm making forecasts for the next year, it would be all the same as this value, 129.66. Okay, now so you can use this data to calculate errors and so on. Now I want to do, so this is my moving average. So I put 3, and I want to do exponential smoothing. Exponential smoothing, and I'm going to use an alpha of say 0.2. So my alpha is 0.2. So again, I click on data, I go to data analysis. Now I want there's exponential smoothing. Same thing, my data is this one here, goes in there. My damping factor is 1 minus alpha. So because my alpha is 0.2, my damping factor would be 0.8, and that's where I want to put my data. So I want my data to go here, the forecasts, and there it is, and click OK, and there I have. So with exponential smoothing, you start with the second value, and you have this. These are my forecasted sales. Okay, so now I want to see. So this assumes the data is stationary and no seasonality. But if we graph the data, and you can graph the data and see if it has seasonality in it. If we graph the data and we want to use the model, say we want to find out whether there is a trend in the data. This is the same data here. Let me make this smaller. So this is the same data, this is the year, quarterly data, and these are my sales. But now if I want to do the trend, I need the period T, so that's 1, 2, 3 up to 20. And now I go click on data, go to data analysis, and I do a regression. Okay, my output Y range, Y is my sales, which is the dependent variable, and my X is my independent variable. I have 1 because I'm looking at trend, which is this one here. I want to click on this first, okay, and click on this one here, and if I want any of this, labels, confidence intervals, and so on, residuals, it can give me all of this stuff. But so I click OK, and now I got a model here. It gives me R square, very, very small. There's very little correlation between time and my sales. So that's suggestion, probably there's not much correlation, and probably my data is stationary. But if I look here at the p-value, it's very high, which means my data is not, I don't have a trend. So my beta 1 in my model would be negative 0.08 with a p-value of 9.2. So again, that's a very high p-value here, indicating no trend. So if I write my model, which is y equal beta 0, which would be 1, b0 plus b1 t, and this would be here y equal y equal b0 1 2 3.87. that's from here, that's my beta 0, that's my y-intercept, plus the beta 1 or minus 0.083, that's my b1, the x variable, t. And so I can use this to make projections for future years or future periods if I had trend, but I don't have a trend in this case. Okay, so you go back to my sales data. Now I want to do analysis using seasonality, so I have to set up my data for seasonality. And in this case, I create those dummy variables Q1, Q2, Q3, and it will be 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0 for the fourth quarter, right? That's my fourth quarters are all zeros, and then everything repeats, repeat, repeat, and repeat, okay, for all years. And if I want to use seasonality and a trend, I need this column here for data, for time. So I click on data, I click data analysis, and then click regression. And now let me clear these. So here I want my input, my y or dependent variable would be this, and then I want my data here, input range. So if I want my data without seasonality, without trend, I would just go and click on this. If I want seasonality, if I want trend, I would go here. So let me add the trend, even though I know it's stationary in this problem, and then click here, and then I would say I want a new worksheet, click OK. And you can see here now my model, the if I look R square, which was close to 0, and trend now it's 0.8, very high, good. I have a p-value of very, very small, close to 0, so that indicates a good model. These are my values, that's B0, B1, B2, B3, and B4. And these are the p-values, and you can see the p-values are all very, very small, indicating they are statistically significant. Of course, the one for time t is not, which is more than 5%. Okay? So if I want to write my model here would be y equal B0, which is now 90.5 plus 30.125 Q1 plus 57.75 Q2 plus 26.375 Q3 plus 0.375 T, so I can ignore. So if I want to find my sales for period, say T equal 22, then that means this, I would enter this Q1 would be, because 20, now I get 20 for 21 would be Q1, so that would be 0. Period 22 means I'm in Q2, so that would be 1, this would be 0, and this would just be 22, okay, and so on. So for period 23 it would be 0, 0, 1, and for period 24 it would be 0, 0, 0, right? And I would just substitute my values there to get my forecasted values for future periods. Okay, thank you.